everybody, it's Gloria, Gigi the Crochet Queen, and welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial will be on this two-tone hexagon, and I did this. This is another motif that is good for beginners, so they can get used to doing their stitches and learn some new stitches if they haven't done them. And also the the last part of this might be a little tricky because it requires you to skip a stitch and then go back to that stitch to do your crochet, your double crochet. But that will be easy to do. I will show you how to do that. So what I will be using is, I have this eye hook, and you can use whatever hook that you are comfortable with. And if you choose to do something else with this, you can use whatever hook you want to use. But I'm using the eye hook. And you will also need a pair of scissors and a yarn needle to weave in your ends. I will be using some scrap yarn, this orange and green. And let's get started. So I'm going to use the orange first. And what you want to do is you want to chain 6. First, let's start with a slip knot. So however you do your slip knot, I do it this way because I think it looks fancy when you do it. And however you do your slip knot, and you want to chain 6. That's 5 and 6, and then you want to slip stitch into that first chain, and you want to chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then do 2 more double crochets into that same, into your ring that you made. Then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and do 3 more double crochets into that circle. Then you chain 3 and repeat again the chain. Repeat the double crochets, 3 double crochets, chain 3s for a total of 6 clusters of the double crochets, and I'll meet you at the last grouping of your double crochets, and you can pull that tail to bring your circle in more. So again, you chain 3 and do 3 more double crochets. You want to have a total of 6 groupings of your double crochets. So I'll meet you at the end of the last set of double crochets. Okay, so I am at my last just finished the last 3 double crochets, and you want to chain 3 and slip stitch into the top of that chain 3. Let's find the top. There it is. Slip stitch into the top of the chain 3, and then you want to fasten off. So this is what it should look like right now. Not beautiful, but we're getting there. So now I'm going to switch colors and go to the green. And in this one, you want to join in any of the chain 3 spaces. So I'm going to just join into this one. And some people will do a slip knot to join, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do a chain 1 and tighten that up. And then you want to chain 5, which counts as a double treble. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you want to do 2 treble stitches into the chain 5 counts as a treble stitch. Then you want to do 2 trebles into that same space, and you yarn over twice. You go into that space, that chain 3 space, pull yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's a treble. Do it again. Yarn over twice, go into your chain 3 space, grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you want to chain 2 and do 3 more trebles into that same space. So again, yarn over twice, go into your chain 3 space, grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Again, this is a treble crochet. And another treble crochet. That's what you should have right now. Then into the next chain 3 space, you do another set of 3 trebles, chain 2, 3 trebles, and you do that all the way around until you get to your chain 5, and you want to do a slip stitch into that. So let's do one more together, and then we'll finish this off. So you want to do treble, yarn over twice, go into your chain 3 space, grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, another treble, do another treble, chain 2, and 3 more trebles into that same chain 3 space. That's 1, 2, and 3. So just repeat that all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end. So I have finished my last 3 treble crochets, and slip stitch into your chain 5, and again fasten off. And this is what your work should look like. Now for round 3, you want to join to the same place as your slip stitch. So we're going to join right in there. Okay, and then you want to chain 3. Let me get these tails are way too long. Okay, gonna tie that one down and chain 3. And you want to do 1 double crochet into the next 2 trebles. And that's a chain, double crochet there, and double crochet into the next one. And do in the chain 2 space, you want to do 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets into that same chain 2 space, 1 and 2. And now you're going to have to move that over so you can get to this treble crochet. You want to put a double crochet into each of the next 6 treble crochets. That's 3, 4, 5, and 6, and we're back to a chain 2 space. So there's 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 2, 1, 2, and 2 more double crochets into that chain 2 space. And then again, move over so that you can get to that treble crochet and do a double crochet into the next 6 treble crochets, and I will meet you at the end of this round. So just repeat all the way around. When you get to your chain 2 space, you do 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, and I will meet you at the end of this round. I am at the end. You want to slip stitch into the top of your first chain 3, and again fasten off. And this is what your work should look like. Now we will move on to the last round, going back to the green. This is rolled up by me, so when I finish this, I am going to make this into a cake. So on round 4, you want to join into any stitch. Okay, so now for round 4, you want to chain 3. So you want to connect your yarn into any stitch. Okay, and again you can do a slip knot and start it that way, but I don't. So chain 3, then you want to go back to the previous stitch and do a double crochet, then skip a stitch and do a double crochet into the next stitch, and go back to the skip stitch and do a double crochet into that stitch. Again, skip a stitch, do a double crochet into the next stitch, and go back to the skip stitch and do a double crochet into that stitch. And this is what your work should look like. So you'll have like X. So you continue that where the chain 2 is now. I'm going to skip over into the chain 2 space and do a double crochet, and then go back to that double crochet and do a double crochet into that double crochet, and just repeat that around. Skip a stitch, do a double crochet into the next stitch, and go back to that skip stitch and do a double crochet into that stitch. And I will meet you at the end of this round, and that will be the end of this motif. I am at my last 2 stitches, so you're going to skip 1 stitch and double crochet into the next, and go back into that skip stitch and do a double crochet, slip stitch into that chain 3, and pass it off. And so this is what your work should look like. And I'm going to sew in the ends and see what the finished product looks like. Lots of ends to sew in. So I will see you when I sew in the ends. After I sew in the ends. Now my ends are all weaved in. So you can make a few of these and sew them together. You can make a blanket. I'm using different yarns, different colors. You can actually probably use some crochet thread, make them smaller, and use that pattern to make a pair of earrings. Anything your imagination, let your imagination run wild and be creative. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, like, and comment on this video. I love reading comments. And until my next video, stay safe, keep crocheting. Bye-bye.